So, Mark, did you see that fine couple of people sleeping in the hallway at Aria after a wonderful night in Las Vegas? Who knew you need to pay for a room? You could just lay out in the hallway.
So many questions about this. Like, do you think they were just trying to find a place to rest for a few hours? They didn't have a room. Do you think the key fob was too difficult for them to work? Or do you think the buddy had a sock on the door handle, so they had to rough it out there?
I don't know, but what does that lady have over her face? What is she covering her eyes with?
Can we say if it's a lady? Do we know?
Okay, I'll...
I think it's a dude. Let us know down in the comments which side. Are you team Sean or team Mark?
After further review, I think you might be right. And it looks like a hat on the head. I don't know what the heck I was thinking, but what a great night that those people had, and congratulations to them. And 4th of July was great here in Vegas. Fireworks shows all over town. Does anybody do it better? I don't know. But here is some of the cool fireworks that people got to see in Las Vegas on the 4th of July.
Yeah, I like the Caesars one, at least the video shot. Like I didn't pay attention to so much of the fireworks. Like there could have been a better fireworks show out of the whole lineup that we have to show. But I really like looking down the fountains, the pools, and then having fireworks going. And when you really stare at Caesars in that way, with like the boundary buildings and everything kind of center with water, it really is beautiful at night, and it's tough to beat. And then you have the fireworks shooting above. I think that's the most picturesque view. If I was going to pick one view of Vegas to show off 4th of July, that would be the one I would go with.
Not the $35 fireworks view at Red Rock?
I guess you could like angle the pool enough to get similar type of vibes, but do we ever figure out, does that come with like free drinks or what? Or did you just pay to stand next to a pool and watch them?
I think that's just to get into the party. It didn't include anything there, but we had fireworks, local shows. You had some of the local casinos, of course, downtown Plaza had their fireworks, then on the Strip. So everybody was covered, and it was a good time for all. And, you know, it seemed like went off without a hitch. Of course, there's more illegal fireworks in the air here in Las Vegas than you could ever imagine with these fireworks shows. It is insane.
You are triggering people as we speak by saying that. People down there
well, this next probably going to trigger them as well. There was a fire at Cromwell. Did you see this? Like, there was a lot of videos of this, and it looked crazy. It looked very, very bad, and it turned out not to be bad at all. It was a fire, I think, in like a storage closet in the parking garage or something. So it didn't end up doing major amounts of damage. The property is fine, but this looked like some of those videos of the smoke coming out. It looked really bad.
Yeah, it looked like it was coming from a room. I don't know how it's coming from the garage, or maybe just the way the wind was, or the way the airflow was. It dragged it to where it went to the side of the building, and it looked like, you know, the whole side of the building was maybe on fire. So that's what when I first saw this breaking on Twitter, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be bad. Hopefully nobody's hurt, and we'll have to see how much damage there is and all that stuff. And come to find out, it was just the parking garage, which is the best parking structure in Vegas, as Sean says.
Well, remember, Mark, there was 2 parking garages there. So the bottom floors of the building itself above the casino are a parking garage. So I'm assuming that's where the fire was, not in the separate parking garage for like public people. But I do agree, best parking garage for Caesars. Get to Flamingo in a second, get to Cromwell in a second, out to Caesars, to Bellagio. It's great.
Yeah, if you have a diamond card or a friend with a diamond card that lets you use it, all that stuff, I really do think that's the best parking spot for locals. You can get right to the Strip super quickly. And I didn't realize that there was a parking structure under. I mean, I never drive in Vegas, but I didn't know there was one under the casino there.
Yeah, if you look at the building, you can sort of see there's empty spots where there would be windows, where there's rooms on certain floors where you can see into the garage. I think they use it just for valet now. So I think at some point back in the history of that building, you could actually just park in there. But I think it's for valet now. But long live the Cromwell or the Vanderpump Resort. I guess maybe now it's time to start renovations.
Yeah, wasn't that all the joke? Like Lisa really wanted to get started early.
So let's move on. I want to talk about the Palms. I went there this week for the movies. I hadn't been there in a while. And I've talked on the show before about how much I really like the movie theaters there. All recliner seats, pretty decent stuff. They also have $6 movies during the week before 6 o'clock. So all of their matinees are $6.
Do they though?
No, they don't. No, they don't. I've been going there for years, Mark, and they've had these different specials for $5 or $6 depending on the day, the year, whatever. So I've been going there for a long time. And if you buy the tickets online, obviously they have a booking fee like so many movie theaters have, but you just go there and buy the ticket in person. We were going to see Lilo and Stitch because it came out while we were traveling. It's at the end of its run. We were the only ones in the theater, so it's not busy. So I knew I didn't need to buy the tickets ahead of time. So we go there, First off, they don't have a front desk anymore there. You have to buy the tickets at the concession stands. And she gets our tickets, flips it around, and has the same $1.75 booking fee as if I booked online. So there's another Vegas fee for you.
Is that per ticket or just like if you buy as many tickets for $1.75?
Per ticket, the same like per ticket fee as if I went to their website and bought it. In fact, I think they was using the same system. Basically, I don't know. It was absolutely ridiculous. $6 tickets though, so even at $7.75, it's a deal. It's a good theater.
But
No,
this is
terrible.
what pisses me off. It's a 30% fee. You're just gonna annoy people. Call them $7.50 tickets. Put no fee on there, and there you go. Well, what's the difference? Or $7.75. It sounds less exciting at $7.75, but $7.50 still a really good deal. Nobody's going to get upset. It doesn't make any sense to me why they do it this way.
But why is it a booking fee when I'm walking up to buy the tickets? Like, this has been a way that we buy tickets forever. Anyway, that kind of pissed me off. But it kind of leads into F1, the movie, which I know you
Great
saw.
movie.
Yeah, it's a lot of Las Vegas in the movie, and I saw that came across this short talking about recreating some of the scenes from there, the wraparound suite at Cosmo, the Omnia Club. Yeah, what were your thoughts on the movie?
Yeah, I was kind of the Vegas parts. He's staying at Brad Pitt's staying at the Wynn, and then he gets a letter to go meet at the supper club, and they have a meeting, and then they go back to her room, and she's staying at the Cosmo. So that's when they bring in, and I wonder if they just did that so that they could get like a cooler outdoor view of Vegas or what, because it just you would think they were all staying at the Wynn since they're all on the same team, but whatever, maybe she had comps. I don't know, but it was kind of like, it reminded me of 21 where they're staying at the Hard Rock, but then they have a view of the fountains. Like they just kind of move stuff around, and they don't ever really say it's the Cosmo, I don't think. But no, the movie was really great. It actually made me kind of want to go watch the F1 race, like get a seat where you can actually see it instead of just walking around the chaos of it. But I know better. I probably won't enjoy it as much as the movie. Good parts of Vegas. You got a really good view of like racing on the track and stuff. They made it realistic. I compared it on Twitter to like Top Gun Maverick, how that felt realistic when they're flying. The driving scenes felt realistic. It's a kind of a tried and true story of a has been or flame out, comes back and redeems himself type of thing. But yeah, really good movie. I think it'll be the blockbuster of the summer for sure.
And a lot filmed in Las Vegas around the race. It was being filmed on the Strip during the race last year. So it's kind of a cool tie-in to Las Vegas to F1. From what all I've heard, I want to go see it. I want to go see it in IMAX. So maybe I got to go to the Palms and pay my $1.75 fee. The technology I've heard is incredible. The way that they're capturing the racing. So Mark,
it's really good.
And I saw your tweet about it. So I was excited to share that. As a reminder, we have our Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to our weekly after show. Lots of fun, lots of laughs. Patreon.com/MTM Vegas for all the information. And thanks to everybody who supports us over there. So pizza rankings. Pizza rankings are a dime a dozen, Mark.
Piss me off.
Oh, really? So 50 Top Pizza is apparently this prestigious version. I mean, everybody has a pizza list, right? But according to the Review Journal, this is one of the more prestigious ones. And two local pizza places. Yeah, there you go. They charge more for play. But two local pizza places are in the top 50 for the U.S. And that includes Pizza Rock at number 33 and Double Zero Pie, our number one in Vegas, at number 43. Tony, who owns Pizza Rock, also owns other restaurants in California, and his San Francisco restaurant is number 2 in the country. So he must really be loved by whoever creates this list.
Yeah, exactly. Or pays a lot. I don't know. That's just speculation on my part, but that's why I don't like these lists, because there's no way that I would put Pizza Rock in the top 3. Pizza Rock is good. It's got good pizza. I enjoyed it. I would not put it top 3 in Vegas alone, much less top 50 in the US. There's no way that you had somebody try a ton of places in Vegas and came out with Pizza Rock as the best in Vegas. I just don't see it.
What I do see is Double Zero being on there, because that is, I mean, amazing. And here's a shout out for our pizza video. We did try both of those pizzas within a couple hours of each other, along with many others in town. So check that out if you haven't seen it. But I do agree. Last year on the list, Pizza Rock was number 28, so they've fallen down to 33, and Double Zero is 45, so they've improved themselves a little bit. But yeah, lots of good pizza in Vegas. I am surprised there's not more Vegas pizza places on here.
I mean, it's tough when you only have 50 for all the states, and New York's going to take up a ton of them. So I would expect like 3, but I wouldn't expect Pizza Rock to be any of those 3.
You really hate Pizza Rock. I've seen a lot of people lately talk about their Detroit pizza and how good it is.
It's a good grab and go slice. It's just not a top 50 pizza place.
So let's move on to Venetian. And are they launching a new credit card? I wouldn't be surprised if we see all of these loyalty programs eventually launch credit cards. And I'm talking about the smaller ones. Obviously, Caesars, MGM already have that. But even the smaller standalone programs have a lot to make off of credit cards. And Mateo tagged me in this on Twitter showing this survey that they're putting out about a new credit card that could launch. They are owned by Apollo, by private equity. They know how to maximize and they know this sort of space as well. And so I would expect that we might see a Venetian credit card and maybe see other ones as well. I think Venetian's a good one though, because that is a property where people are fiercely loyal and they stay on every trip. I hear that from a lot of people.
I just don't know, like, is it wide enough reach? They're probably going to be at some like crappy bank like FNBO or some small piddly little thing that isn't great customer service because they just don't. MGM and Caesars have properties worldwide. You know, Venetian, we're talking about a much smaller pool of people, and then people of that pool who want a credit card for it to earn rewards to go to Vegas are even smaller. So I just don't know that it will be widely accepted. I don't know. I can't imagine it being worthwhile when we see what it is, but can't say for sure until we know all the details.
Apollo was also in the news this week for their purchase of most of IGT and Everi, and they're combining the company in a $6.3 billion merger. And it's really interesting because they're bringing in the ex-CEO of Aristocrat to head up this new company. And he has a non-compete going on, so he's going to come in later this year. Aristocrat, Mark, makes all the Buffalo machines. IGT makes Monopoly. So IGT brand is going to remain in most areas. They're going to use every once in a while. But this is consolidation among slot manufacturers, a business that's booming right now.
Do you think we're going to see this guy bring in like a horses instead of buffaloes, or what game do you think he's going to mimic coming from the other one?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a lot of the machines are copying each other. We're seeing this era, I think, where they have tried to balance how volatile a machine is, how many bonuses it has, how many little things can go off to trip the dopamine in your brain, all of that sort of stuff. So we're at a point where they're pushing these machines as far as possible, but sometimes they've gotten so volatile. But this really is a boom in this video slot machine industry. I don't know, the last 10 or 15 years. Before, you think back to those pictures of like casino floors in the 50s and 60s, you have all the table games with the serious men and then the wives over playing slot machines. And then to see what it's turned into now. And this is Apollo saying, hey, we are going to make our mark here. We own the Venetian. They're all over the place.
According to Twitter, we talked about this a bit on the last video. I don't think anybody's going to be playing slots in the near future.
We should update on that. That did pass. So as far as we understand, that is going into law. And I know that there's some other bills being introduced in the House to try to change that or to roll it back for how things are going to be taxable. A lot of people chiming in on that, but it does seem like you will only be able to write off 90% of your losses. And I don't know, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And I think the person that added it was like a senator from Idaho or something, like I don't even know why they would be able to put that. It doesn't make any sense. Why a state that isn't known for gambling would put this in the bill is beyond me.
So let's reset. Let's talk Flamingo for a second and some good news. As they've been renovating their rooms, a lot of hotels, this isn't just in Vegas, but all over the world have installed these half glass shower things that I suppose are supposed to keep the water in, but they're open halfway through and the water always ends up spilling out all over the floor. Everybody complains about these. It seems like everybody has the same experience. It's just insane. Well, Flamingo has invented something to fix the problem. It's called a shower curtain.
Throwback. There you go. I get it when the shower's really deep, like at Nobu and stuff. The shower head's like really far back, so there's a lot of towel, and then you have the half glass type of setup. That makes sense. But when it's a regular shower, it just never made sense. I know having a rolling door and stuff is probably harder to clean and more difficult to install and all those things. So I get that to a point, and shower curtains get mildewy and nasty and everything and don't look as nice, but you got to pick a lane here. You can't do a little bit of both. It just looks stupid now.
Well, they made the dumb decision in the first place to put the half glass in, and now they have to fix it in a cheap way by putting the shower curtain in when they should have just put the regular glass in the whole time. It would have looked great. And I think that there's got to be more maintenance long term with all the extra water that sits on the floor. It's got to wear that out quicker with just puddles of water. I don't know, but I'll take shower curtains. And it's so funny how in 2025 we create all these funny ways to do things and then we just go back to the tried and true way.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all the mildew on next time I stay at Flamingo. on the shower curtain. There we
Just
go.
like it was in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. Let's bring it back. Now let's talk bad news from Caesars. One of their benefits for their Diamond Plus members has been free drinks, and you used to be able to get them just about everywhere. And this started after they closed the Laurel lounges or the Diamond lounges, and sort of during COVID and stuff like that. I saw Vital Vegas share this, but it comes from, it looks like the Caesars Rewards Facebook group. Val shared this, and it's just basically showing what's left where you can get it. I think she went into Pinky's by Vanderpump, couldn't get a drink there. A lot of the free coffees are limited now.
Coffee? Really?
She highlights it on the page. It says, this is subject to change without notice. They're just messing around with what you can get and what you can't get. I'll throw up the current list on the screen, but we've seen them erode away at this benefit time after time.
Yeah, it's sad to see because you already got rid of the lounges. I mean, how much does this really cost you? I understand maybe premium places like Pinky's, you wouldn't want people to get $15, $20 drinks or whatever, or maybe put a cap on it, like up to $15. You have to pay anything extra. You can use it anywhere. Whatever you want to do to make it just easy. This is annoying. Like nobody wants to go to Vegas and check the list every time they go to see what's changed and figure out how they can use a perk that used to be easy. You just walked into a lounge and got it. And we're talking about people that are gambling a serious amount of money or spending a lot of money on property. You already made it that you can't get it at Diamond. It's got to be Diamond Plus, and it's just terrible. The whole Caesars Rewards program has been going steadily downhill, and this is another super cheap turn that is going to turn people off.
Yeah, and as you point out, these are your best customers. Why are you treating them like that? And It just makes me think of how far...
For coffee. A coffee, Sean, costs like $1.
And it's so stupid because this company gave away their status for years, their Diamond status, and then they gave everybody access to the lounges, and then they said it was too expensive and cut it back. And now they're just putting the screws to their best players, the people who actually are their customers, not all the other freeloaders from over the years. They bring back a better service now that you've gotten rid of all the freebies and all the sort of stuff. Bring back better service for your best players. It seems like that would make sense, but here we go in the other direction.
This is what happens when you are severely in debt and you're just making stupid decisions thinking it will help get you out of it.
Speaking of decisions, Kelly Clarkson made a decision this past week. So what was it last year? Almost a couple years ago now, Adele had to postpone her residency at the very last minute at the Coliseum because of, I don't even remember what it was at the time. Was it because the show wasn't ready, right?
Yeah, like the design or something with water, or she didn't like the setup and they had to redesign the whole thing, I think.
Well, it happened again. Kelly Clarkson canceled her opening nights of her residency at the Coliseum last minute. Same thing, basically saying to the fans her voice isn't doing well. She isn't doing well. Some conspiracy theorists, I think Vital Vegas, others were tweeting that there was a lot of tickets for sale for her upcoming shows, so maybe it didn't sell out. I doubt that that's why they would have canceled it. Review Journal reported that the first show was sold out completely, so that tells you it's so funny.
Even the
Vital Vegas and Johnny Katz are fighting each other via the Kelly Clarkson stuff. That's all I read into it.
Even the screenshot that he shared, I was like, that's decent, pretty good sales. Like they're definitely making money. And there's a lot of last minute walk-ins, or people get comp tickets or whatever, or they borrow Chris Angel's props to set them in there so it looks like they're full. But it was like 80% sold out. I don't think that would be a reason that you would cancel a show. If it was like half empty, okay, but it didn't look that terrible.
Yeah, but it's sort of weird. I mean, again, there's this argument, is she wrong for waiting till, I think, 2.5 hours before the show, before she even announced to the crew that it was going to be canceled? Should she have tried to do it earlier? I mean, I guess you're thinking that if her voice isn't doing well, she's just hoping that she'll be able to go on and do it. I think she deserves some goodwill because she has been known as one of the cooler people in Vegas. Didn't we share that video of her like singing on the sidewalk a couple years ago?
Yeah, and I mean, if Adele can come back from hers, and hers sounded way more diva-esque, and by the end, nobody cared and loved the residency that she had. I don't think, I mean, the people that were affected, hopefully they get taken care of, maybe get tickets to something, a later show of their choice, and get a partial refund or something along those lines. So I feel bad for them, but I wouldn't hold it against her at this point.
How did we make it through this entire segment and not say Kelly Clarkson?
I just didn't say the name.
And I didn't steal your joke until just now. 40-year-old virgin reference. Kelly Clarkson, yeah. Wish her the best. She will be back.
You just said Clarkston.
Yeah, there you go. Wish her the best. I think she's going to premiere now July 12th, so not a long wait there. I'm sure it really was her voice, and hoping she has a nice long residency there over at Caesars. So let us know what you guys think about anything we talked about today. The 4th of July shows, the fire at Cromwell, Apollo and their big purchase, everything else we discussed. Shower curtains at Flamingo, Mark. I'm so excited about that. Leave a comment. We do 2 shows a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, and we'll be back in a couple days with another show. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to all of the people who've been watching lately. Really appreciate it. Talk to you next time.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good week.